Most exciting political news of the month, Wayne Swan, World's Best Treasurer. Do you guys see this? He got actually officially nominated World's Best Treasurer.
A few weeks ago.
I said a month ago, within the month. I love doing political comedy because you don't get heckled, you get corrected.
Julia Gillard, who once stood up, right, at the council to decide the fate of the world and said, "I will take the ring to Mordor, even though I do not know the way," right, in order to defeat the great evil that is climate change. She made her way through the caves of bureaucracy, she climbed the slope of Mount Public Opinion, and she chucked that ring in.
Just thought, I didn't know Julia knew Barack Obama. Imagine you could just pull out a photo like that. If you could just Photoshop yourself into that photo, just you and Barack Obama, just sharing that moment. And it's like, Mum, Dad, comedy's not really working out. I need to borrow $1,000, but here, look at this photo. Oh, Kate's doing very well. She knows Barack Obama.
All the while being watched over by the wise and kindly gay wizard Bob the Brown. The worst part is that there is a tiny, deformed, big-eared, baldy, monstrous creature that wants to undo this great and epic task.
This time Tony Abbott's made a promise in quite hyperbolic terms. Does everyone remember the last election when he said work choices was gone? And no one really believed him because he previously said you can't really trust what he says unless he's really thought about it. So then he said it's dead, buried and cremated. Quite severe. He killed it. He buried it just to prove a point. Dug it up and burnt it. But I know that's quite what happened. I think what really happened is Work Choices was dead, buried behind a large stone, and then Tony Abbott, being a Catholic, is going to let it rise again in 3 years.
I've been thinking recently a little bit about racism, because obviously there's been a bit of racism going on in Australia recently for, well, I guess the last 200 years or so.
The problem with Muslims is that some of them seem to want time off during Ramadan. The problem with Chinese people is that some of them seem to want time off for Chinese New Year. The problem with Indian people is some of them seem to want time off for Diwali. The problem with racists is that they don't have enough of their own festivals.
Say occupy, you say Shepparton. Occupy. Shepparton. Occupy. Shepparton.
Apocalypse. Apostrophe.
Contraction! It is! It's the dog's tail! Possessive! It's... The dog wagged its tail!
Guys! Occupy Melbourne is coming! There's gonna be anarchy on the streets!
Okay,
chaos everywhere!
I've been reading the Herald Sun because I wanted my brain to have a day off. And